Brace yourselves, because the latest bombshell has exploded online, and it's one that's shaking the internet to its core. According to insider reports, Madonna had to intervene and save Yung Miami from being pulled further into the alleged chaos surrounding Diddy's life. But how did two iconic figures like Madonna and Demi Moore end up involved in this mess? Well, it turns out that Demi Moore, who has been a fixture in Hollywood for decades, was well aware of what was going on. In Diddy's inner circle, as a regular at his exclusive parties, she witnessed things that most people couldn't even imagine, making her comments on the situation all the more credible. And now she's claiming that Yung Miami was on the verge of getting caught up in something much darker than what the public saw. Meanwhile, there are disturbing rumors about footage that allegedly exists showing underage guests at Diddy's infamous parties, with some Hollywood names, including Demi Moore herself supposedly, featured in less than flattering ways. While it's unclear whether this footage will ever surface, the mere possibility of it has the industry on edge. What's even more shocking is that it appears Demi is not just gossiping, as her previous associations with Diddy and her marriage to Ashton Kutcher have always been tied to some of these circles. Now, with these allegations, the line between rumor and reality seems dangerously thin. Demi is adamant that Yung Miami was almost pulled too deep into Diddy's web, a situation that could have ruined her. Thankfully, Madonna, who had reportedly distanced herself from Diddy years ago, stepped in, potentially saving Yung Miami from a fate she might not have been able to come back from. Behind all the glamour of private jets, designer outfits, and luxury vacations, there was a much darker side to Yung Miami and Diddy's relationship, one that was far from the fairy tale it appeared to be. According to Demi, while Yung Miami may have looked like Diddy's girlfriend, she was being pulled deeper into a troubling world. The truth, it seems, was ugly, and it forced Madonna to break her silence and take action. Madonna, once known as the Queen of Reinvention, was reportedly so disturbed by what she saw that she had no choice but to intervene. While some might have seen Yung Miami as just another successful socialite, Demi claims that the reality was far more sinister. Yung Miami's role in Diddy's life wasn't just about being a girlfriend. It was about control. As fans start to piece together these shocking claims, the questions are piling up. What exactly did Madonna see that forced her to intervene? And just how close was Yung Miami to losing everything with Diddy's influence and the media's scrutiny? Yung Miami's true role in this mess might have been far more complicated than anyone realized. Let's not forget that moment when Yung Miami confronted Gina Hine, Diddy's longtime associate. She didn't hold back, telling Gina, "If I wanted you to do what I say, Diddy would have had you doing it. You've been struggling ever since I came into the picture. You've been publicly emotional for years, wishing for a baby, and constantly showing up in situations that don't empower you." With that confidence, it gave the impression that Miami was in charge, not just another participant in the chaos, but the one directing it. However, according to claims made by Demi Moore, that image may have been misleading. She alleged that Yung Miami wasn't some bold woman leading Diddy's circle. She was possibly trapped, caught so deeply in his world that she couldn't even recognize the severity of the situation. What Demi described resembled a kind of emotional entrapment, like Stockholm Syndrome. While Yung Miami may have appeared cheerful and confident online behind the scenes, she was allegedly dealing with things macabre, and perhaps the most. The disturbing part is that she may not have even realized how far she had been pulled in. Fans are now seeing her in a different light. If these claims are true, then what many thought was just a complicated relationship might have actually been dangerous. The luxury flights, extravagant parties, and viral moments could have been distractions from something much darker. This isn't just speculation, it echoes something we've seen before. Take Cassie, for instance. She was with Diddy for more than a decade, and when she finally spoke out, the details were chilling. During legal proceedings, she reportedly testified that she had been pressured into things that made her deeply uncomfortable. She stated she never consented to certain acts and described feeling humiliated. Her accounts were filled with emotional pain, including moments where she felt overwhelmed and degraded, but the situation took a complicated turn when someone else, Valvda, former escort, claimed that Cassie had initiated one of those controversial encounters. According to court documents, after being with Diddy, Cassie allegedly approached the individual and asked about a specific act. When he said he hadn't done it before, she reportedly gave him instructions. However, he also claimed that both Cassie and Diddy interrupted midway, saying he wasn't doing it properly. This paints a picture of a rehearsed moment rather than a spontaneous one, suggesting deeper control dynamics at play. And these weren't just internet rumors. This was courtroom testimony. Cassie stayed in that relationship for 11 years despite the distress she endured. So when Demi Moore suggests that Yung Miami may have been under similar influence, it forces people to reconsider what was really going on behind the scenes, considering the extent of alleged control Diddy had over Cassie. It's not unreasonable to believe he could have exerted similar influence elsewhere. Reports have suggested that he even had Cassie recruit people from classified sites, which only adds more weight to the claims of manipulation. This type of control isn't just about authority, it's psychological. That's where Yung Miami comes back into the conversation. On one of her podcast episodes, she once casually mentioned her interest in golden showers, especially with Diddy. At the time, many dismissed it as a joke or an attempt to be provocative. But with the context of Cassie's testimony now known, that confession hits differently. What once seemed like a quirky soundbite now feels like a potential red flag. Ultimately, this sheds new light on the relationships surrounding Diddy. What looked like consensual adult fun might have hidden darker realities. And while we don't have full clarity, the patterns of behavior and the testimonies from different people paint a picture that can't be ignored. It's a stark reminder that public glamour often conceals private pain.
It say take a shower if you like golden showers. I do.
Golden showers, meaning when the guy pees on you, pee on you everywhere. You like it?
I just like it.
You do? Sweet.
From the moment Diddy's arrest and the controversial freak-off rumors went public, Yung Miami changed her tune fast. Suddenly, she began distancing herself from the comments she once made so confidently. When people brought up her viral golden shower confession, she quickly tried to clarify. She said, "I never said he was the one I did that with. Intimacy is a part of life. I'm grown, and maybe I talk about it too much. Everyone has their own personal experiences. Some people like different things. Some live life on the edge. I watch a lot of adult content. There are all kinds of things people are into. If two grown adults are home, relaxed, and want to talk about intimacy, what's thigh sue?" Then she changed the story again, claiming the golden shower comment wasn't even real. She insisted she only made the comment to help promote her drinking card game. In a tweet, she wrote, "Do you remember why you fell in love with me?" A follower replied, "When I found out you liked that stuff." Miami shot back, "I was playing a man never did that to me. I said it to promote my card game, and it did what it was supposed to do. But fans weren't convinced," and he pointed out she spoke about it long before the card game promo, even on Instagram Live. The clip has circulated widely, making it hard to claim it was all just a joke or marketing strategy.
You giving me pissy pussy stage pussy, bitch.
Pee on me, bitch.
What pee? Pee on you, period. Period. Hashtag pee on you. Pee on you, period.
Bitch, cause I already
Pee on you, period.
this shitty
Pee on you,
any day
period.
hoe. I already
Pee
be
on you,
pissy this
period.
shitty any day
What
hoe.
pee?
Any day hoe. I already be pissy this
Pissy.
shitty any day hoe.
Pissy.
Like I motherfucking
Pissy
said.
hoe, you rank.
Your shorts get
You
the
rank,
ground.
bitch. When
Your
you walk on
shorts
stage
get
and
the
pop
ground,
up with that
hoe.
pissy pussy.
And just when things couldn't get any messier, anonymous posts what fans often call a blind item surfaced online that many believe confirmed the infamous golden shower rumors. The post hinted at a certain ex-partner of a well-known music mogul, describing her as someone who had once embraced everything she now tries to deny. It read, "Interesting how the golden shower-loving ex of the producer-turned-rapper suddenly wants to act like she wasn't involved. Is she forgetting all the footage and audio recordings?" But here's where things get darker. According to sources, Yung Miami's involvement with Diddy wasn't just about clout, luxury, or playing along for public image. Allegedly, it was rooted in something much more serious fear. And not just the fear of public backlash, but a deeper fear for her personal safety. It's been suggested that behind all the glamorous social media posts, flashy vacations, and bold interviews, Miami was navigating a situation where she felt she had no real control Allegedly, she complied with Diddy's personal lifestyle not out of genuine interest, but out of concern for the consequences if she didn't. What started off as pressure reportedly escalated into something more intense and troubling. There are also claims that the fear wasn't imagined. Reports suggest that there were times when Diddy allegedly became physically aggressive. At that point, insiders say the situation shifted dramatically. Even pop icon Madonna, who had reportedly kept her distance from Diddy for a long time, allegedly felt compelled to step in not because of personal loyalty to Miami, but because what she heard and saw was too disturbing to ignore. Demi, someone close to the situation, reportedly revealed that the world only started hearing this story now because she finally chose to speak up. One moment that raised serious questions was when Miami appeared in public with a noticeable cut on her head. While many brushed it off as a minor incident, Demi claimed it was not random and it allegedly traced back to Diddy. That incident, according to Demi, was a turning point. It made things too obvious to overlook. And while Miami tried to downplay it, sources say, Madonna knew the signs and felt something had to be done. Allegedly. This wasn't even the first time something like this had occurred. Much like past claims made by others, Diddy reportedly ensured any visible injuries were minimal or hidden. But this time, the mark was clear and the truth was harder to hide. She recognized the red flags early on and understood that staying silent could make things worse. That moment when one visible incident allegedly surfaced may have been the turning point that encouraged one of the most influential women in the entertainment industry to intervene. Some say this was also Madonna's way of confronting Diddy, especially considering their well-documented past. The two have had public clashes, openly throwing shade and making it clear they didn't see eye to eye. Their tension wasn't hidden, it was out in the open for everyone to see. But there might have been a deeper, more personal motivation behind Madonna's decision to get involved. Over the years, she has spoken openly about past pain, especially moments when she felt silenced by fear and humiliation. In her own words, she once said, "I was told that if I wanted to press charges, I'd have to go through a physical exam, stand in court, and answer all these personal questions. You've already been violated. So do you really want to relive it? Do you want to make it public? No, it's just not worth it. It's too humiliating." That powerful admission explains why she might be so passionate about preventing others from going through the same thing. If someone like Yung Miami was indeed in a vulnerable situation, it makes sense that Madonna would want to step in and prevent any harm, especially at the hands of someone she's had personal conflict with, and Madonna's involvement didn't stop with Yung Miami. According to reports, she may have helped others too. Diddy's former assistant, Mia, once claimed that after she was let go from his team, she was blacklisted within the industry. Doors were closed and opportunities vanished. But when no one else would hire her, Madonna did. She offered Mia a position in April 2018, just a year after she left Diddy's circle in March 2017 initially. The job was supposed to be temporary, just 3 months. But Madonna extended it to 8 months, clearly recognizing Mia's talent and potential. What's notable is that Madonna didn't hesitate because of the rumors or the so-called industry blacklist. She didn't judge, didn't ask questions. She simply gave Mia a chance when she needed it most. This adds another layer to why Madonna may have felt compelled to act if she saw signs that Yung Miami could be in trouble. It wasn't just about industry drama or making a statement. It was about protecting someone who might have felt trapped or powerless. But what surprised many fans is how unbothered Yung Miami appeared to be about any of it. She didn't seem shaken by the serious allegations surrounding Diddy, nor did she publicly show much gratitude toward those who may have tried to help. Instead, she's been seen continuing to support him, even suggesting that she plans to reconnect with him once things settle down. While it might be difficult to understand from the outside, this behavior isn't uncommon. Many individuals in similar situations return to people who have hurt them not because they don't recognize the harm, but because leaving can be far more complicated than it looks. There's emotional attachment, fear, and sometimes survival mechanisms at play. That's what makes this story even more heartbreaking. Yung Miami wasn't just another person in Diddy's circle. If the reports about Demi Moore and Madonna stepping in are true, it paints a picture of someone who was deeply entangled, possibly caught between loyalty, fear, and confusion. This wasn't just about celebrity parties or media rumors. It may have been about control, image, and influence. But in all of that chaos, Madonna's actions stood out. She didn't care about backlash or public perception. She simply did what she felt was right. No spotlight, no questions. If Yung Miami really was being pulled deeper into a dangerous situation, Madonna's quiet intervention may have been more impactful than anyone near realizes. She might have been one of the few with the power and courage to step in. Now fans are questioning who else needed help, who stayed silent, and what really happened behind closed doors. One thing is clear, if she spoke out, it may have just opened the floodgates. But something tells us this is only the beginning. Things might be unraveling faster than anyone expected.